A terrible virus suddenly broke out in the United States. The infected would turn into a monster that is a combination of a zombie and a vampire. In order to survive, Shashua and his family had no choice but to flee from this city. But when his father was repairing his car, the second son of the family suddenly found something and ran out. Shashua didn't even think about it and ran after him. It was exactly because of this action that saved his life. At this time, the back door was slowly closed. Just when Shashua thought something was wrong, his mother suddenly broke through the window and screamed. Shashua ran over but was suddenly knocked down by a strange man halfway. Before you listen to me, you scream, "I'll break your neck." There's nothing to be done about it but kill that thing. After that, the man handed Shashua a gun and took him slowly into the house. The man carefully opened the door, but he didn't see the monster around him. Suddenly a sound came out. Shashua found his mother lying on the floor. He turned around and saw his father. Even his older brother was bitten to death by the monster. Before the two of them could react, the monster disappeared from sight. The next second suddenly appeared in front of him. Shashua decisively pulled the trigger. The man took the opportunity to put the monster on the engine cover. Then he took out a piece of iron and inserted it into the monster's heart. With the cooperation of the two, the monster finally hated the Northwest. But it didn't end there. The father who had just been bitten was about to mutate. The man pushed Shashua away with his sword. Before mutating, he sent his father away. Shashua, who was alone, had to leave with Wei. It opened the way to escape to the north. The unknown virus spread quickly. The path was filled with windows. Fortunately, this kind of monster is like a vampire. Once it comes into contact with the sun, it will turn into a carpet, so it's relatively safe during the day. In the next few months, Wei not only taught Shashua to learn survival skills, but also taught him martial arts hand in hand, and how to use it in real combat. Every time they kill a monster, they will pull its teeth out because in the end, teeth are more useful than cash. You can take the survivors' camp to exchange for supplies. After having enough supplies, the two continued to head for the destination. Unexpectedly, on the way, they met a chaste Xiongnu. The most terrible thing in the end is the human heart. And Wei hated this kind of person the most in his life. He rushed up and beat one without saying a word. The other person wanted to run away, but Wei didn't want to let him go. He took a special dart from the car and threw it over. Then he took out a knife and cut off the man struggling to death. Obviously, the Xiongnu was scared to death. Wei had to leave with him, but they didn't know that this time they offended someone they shouldn't have offended. When a few people passed by a tent on the way, they were attracted by the cry of a baby inside. The bodies of 8 people in a row were shocking, but they were more worried about the safety of the baby. They could only find out when they opened the baby's car. It turned out to be a carefully planned trap. It was too late to react. The 3 people were caught like this. These people called themselves the Brotherhood. They did nothing in the end, and the 2 people that Wei killed before were members of the Brotherhood. He is also the son of the Bald Head. Now the Bald Head wants to avenge his son. Fortunately, Shashua and Xiongnu are still useful to the Bald Head, so he didn't rush to kill. But Wei was in trouble. They left him in the land of monsters. Ordinary people can't survive when they face 4 long-legged monsters, but Wei has been through a lot. He lived his life with his strong strength. And Shashua and Xiongnu were not easy. Xiongnu became a tool for the Bald Head to vent his anger. Shashua was trained to be a younger brother. He often did all kinds of mischief, but when he went out to fight alone, he took the opportunity to escape. The Bald Head thought that Shashua didn't dare leave alone, but he learned a lot of survival skills from Wei. He can survive in the dark alone. When it was dark, Shashua successfully found Wei's car. Unfortunately, the car door couldn't be opened. What's worse, there was a monster nearby. He had no choice but to fight against the monster. In a critical moment, Shashua was pulled into the car. It turned out to be Wei, who escaped death. He climbed from the trunk to the driver's seat. He started the car and threw the monster down. Then he turned the car with 1 foot on the throttle, but the monster climbed up without injury. Wei continued to step on the throttle and hit the monster directly. Then he couldn't get his head back. They drove all the way until dawn before they dared to stop and take a break. After dealing with the wound, they continued to set off. Not long after, they met a girl in a car. Wei didn't want to leave, but he saw Shashua's longing eyes. In the end, he decided to leave with her. At night, they were stopped by a Christmas monster, but soon Shashua hit him in the heart with an arrow. When Shashua was about to take the monster's teeth, the toilet next to him suddenly made a sound. It turned out to be a survivor. The bald man cruelly left him here to attract the monster. Now they all have a common goal, which is to seek revenge for the bald man. The next day, they used Mei as bait and successfully caught a bald boy. I need you. Okay. At night, they disguised as members of the Brotherhood and sneaked into their territory and successfully captured the bald boy. From the mouth of the bald boy, they learned that the girl had already escaped, that the bald boy was evil. Wei tied him to a tree and then cut his back with a knife. The Bloodstar guards would soon attract the monster. The bald boy paid for his actions. After taking revenge, the group continued to advance northward. When passing by a survivor's camp, they decided to replenish some supplies. At night, they also met the girl who escaped death. At this time, a helicopter suddenly appeared in the sky. Countless monsters descended from the sky. Oh my god. Obviously, this was done by the members of the Brotherhood. Originally, the happy camp was turned into a human prison. Although the guards of the camp resisted hard, but there were too many monsters.
Soon, the guards were all killed. Wei and others hid in a room and escaped. After dawn, the volunteers continued to drive, but the car was blown up on the way. They had no choice but to choose to go. Before dark, they came to an abandoned parking lot and set up a trap. They decided to spend the night here. However, at night, the most worrisome thing happened. A trap suddenly made a noise. This means there are monsters nearby. Everyone was in a state of panic. As expected, the monsters were coming from nowhere. A few people quickly ran into the cornfield. The monsters couldn't bear to chase after them. In order to cover everyone's escape, the girl stood up and ran out. The escaping men kept running northward, but on one morning, Black just disappeared from the bathroom on the way out.
Not around on traps.
What do you see?
Some places it's pretty. I've seen a lot of mutant vamps, but I ain't never seen a thing.
When they found him, Black had turned into a cold corpse. Wei realized that the monster was more than just a monster. We're trapped here. What did you say? She used her brain. I've seen a lot of mutant facts, but I've never seen a thing at the critical moment Wei arrived in time. But a monster hit him in the face. Under the influence of the virus, Black not only had a strong body but also retained his human wisdom. Black was nailed to the wall with no resistance, but the villain often died of talking too much. When he was about to talk to Wei, the young man behind him suddenly started a fight. Wei took the opportunity to kick him hard. Under the cooperation of the two, the old man was successfully killed.
Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. It really helps the channel reach more amazing people like you. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. And I'd truly love to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments below. I always enjoy reading your feedback. Your support means a lot, and it's what keeps this channel going strong.